So Grant Proctor, and I'm the new Wilson boys head basketball coach. Well, I actually graduated from Wilson back in 2010. Went on to play a little college basketball in Kansas. So I spent about 5 years in Kansas, did a little GA position with my college, and then once that was done, I decided to come back home. Pretty much always knew I wanted to be a coach and teacher. My mother, she's taught here for over 20 years, so that's pretty much been my plan since about the 6th grade. I came back and I got my start in Muscogee under Johnny Dreyer, so that's why I've been the past, 4 years, I believe. So this is actually my first head coaching job. And I've had the privilege of playing under some pretty good coaches and, assisting under good coaches. So, I've been blessed to kind of just pick and choose philosophies that I do and don't like, and kind of put my own recipe into it, and just kind of figure out what does and doesn't work with the type of kids I've had. And then obviously playing in Kansas, very similar to Oklahoma, but at the same time, different styles of basketball. I got to travel the country a little bit playing against different types of basketball, so that's also kind of helped me as well. So I like to think that I'm kind of multi-dimensional when it comes to philosophies and beliefs when it comes to the game of basketball. So I think where it kind of started for me was after my senior year of high school. I had the summer youth job through Creek Nation, and one of my positions was actually here at Wilson. And what they would have me do was just different things around the school, maintenance, electric work, a little sweeping, painting, things like that. And then what they would do was they would bring in the middle schoolers, the high schoolers, and I would usually work with them for about an hour or so a day, just teaching them basic fundamentals, or if they were a little older and more advanced, I could show them some things that, were kind of successful for me as a player. So I think that's when I realized training and coaching is something that I really, really enjoy doing. And, the longer I get to stay in the gym, the better these days. So one of the big stressing points this year has been accountability. Just making sure the boys understand that, whether it's basketball, whether it's school, whether it's job, whether it's your family, you have to hold yourself accountable, or those you care for accountable. That's been a real big one. The motto this year for our team is actually change the culture. And that's just kind of trying to move Wilson back into that mode of, being a good basketball program. The kids act the right way. And just giving Wilson School a good name. So that's been a real stressing point for me as well. And one thing that I've really tried to do a lot this year is teaching my older kids to kind of interact and be teachers to the younger kids, just helping them understand that this is the legacy that you're leaving behind. It's very interesting. I lost a lot of contacts from people once I moved to Kansas, but one thing that was kind of interesting, and I tell my boys this story all the time, whenever I used to go through the starting lineups, they do the hometown and your position and all those different things. Well, on my bio I put Wilson Henryetta, so I put Henryetta in parentheses, and for the first game they called me from Wilson, Oklahoma. And I had to go tell the guy, I said, no, I'm not from Wilson. I'm from Wilson Henryetta. I was like, there's a difference. I was like, and that difference means something to me. And so from then on, he was like, oh, Wilson Henryetta, overstressed it. But as far as the full circle goes, a lot of the kids that are my players now were actually in school when I was in school. So that's kind of a little bit of weird feeling, but most of them were too young to kind of remember who I was, or, whatever we did. But bringing in some people that they do remember. So Tony Simmons, he comes and helps me quite a bit. Just another set of eyes, and he can still play. So, he helps me teach those guys, and that was kind of the person that they looked up to. So, again, just adding more people to bring in that's been through it, that has pride in the school, just teaching the kids, you can be a good basketball program, you can be a good school. Just making sure that you work hard and understand, the value of giving back. I'm happy for the season, ready for it to get here, excited. Expect big things from the Tigers this year.